Welcome everybody to our boutique in Prahran in Melbourne. Super excited to be with you guys today. My name is Bruce Jones. I'm the General Manager of Foundspace and very excited to be here to be hosting this webinar today with James Meredith. How are you, James?
I'm well, mate. It's
good.
Always good to see you.
Nice. Tell me about your morning. What's going on this morning?
Well, like I was saying earlier, everyone's not the same. Usually crazy kids under 5, but this morning it was really good. I was able to get up, train, throw some kettlebells around, have a sauna, bit of breakfast, come to work. So not the usual, but certainly what I like to do.
Nice.
Yourself?
Nice. Well, my usual is I do love to train every morning, and today was a very good morning. Got a deadlift personal record, which is great. A lot of the team at Foundspace do love getting up, doing some training. Typically, that's what I do. I train, I sauna, I cold plunge, and just sets it up really well. Anyway, enough about us. So today we're talking about our 5-step process to succeed with Hormetic Tech in your business. So before we get into that, just make sure that you guys hang around to the end because there's going to be a really, really special offer. And further to that, James is going to provide some great resources that you're going to be able to incorporate in your business, and not necessarily around introducing Hormetic Tech into your business. So if you can take one thing away from today that's going to just give you an extra 2 or 3% in your business, like our job is done. So with that said, just what's an overview of this? What is this 5-step process, and why is it so important, James?
Thanks, mate. Well, we thought it was essential to create a process for businesses to understand the end-to-end service that they'll receive. Right? So we work with industries across sectors. Gyms, think about Pilates studios and yoga studios, they'd be the obvious one. But you throw in there architects and guest houses, Airbnbs, workspaces are becoming more and more popular. So corporate environments, small business investing in their people, which be
Yep.
And they want to. It can be a bit of a minefield out there, particularly when you're investing in sauna. And one thing we understand, and I certainly acutely understand, is that it can be a lot of investment, and having trust in your supplier is crucial. So we wanted to create a process that really walks a business through a really great customer journey, right? And effectively really build the trust and excitement that what they're doing is not only a great investment for their staff or their guests or their clients to elevate their well-being, but they're going to be working with a brand and a business that has a really strong boots on the ground approach, real personalized service, and plenty of resource for them to get a really strong return investment, over 10, 20 years. So let that be financial or just adding value to their business. One of those workspaces would be a perfectly good example.
Yeah.
It just gives that business or that company just that peace of mind, that security that I don't have to worry about, installation, or how do I build it myself, and is the company going to be there for me if we need them, parts, and how do I get resourced and so forth. So what we do is we step it out. Actually, in 5 steps.
In 5 steps. All right, cool. So look, before we get into those 5 steps, one thing that you've been with Foundspace now for 6 years or so.
It's coming
up to 6 years, I think. Yeah.
November, October. Maybe 6 years.
I think it's actually November. Anyway, I remember when I hired you, and you came from a background of running your own clinic. And you're a physical therapist yourself, and you're running a clinic, and you had saunas in that clinic. And you even through that, and and talking to you about that, like I discovered a lot about what we can do better at Foundspace to improve that whole kind of commercial experience. So there's a lot of conversations that we've had over the years with clients and potential clients, and I believe that we've really just got better and better. And since you've taken over the commercial space in the last, in the recent years, you've really, you've nailed this. And I really think that we are offering a superb experience for all of our clients, but particularly in this case for our commercial clients. So the first part of it is really, I suppose, understanding someone's business, right? And listening, and rather than just going into, let's have a discussion, see if there's going to be an aligned fit, right? See if, we can work together as businesses and really kind of find out more about. So tell us a bit more about that first of these 5-step processes where you really kind of understand.
Yeah, we call it discovery.
Yep.
And it's really the body of the work for the customer. It's what we want is we want them either walking out of their first meeting, if they've had an opportunity to be here at the boutique, or come off the first phone call with that real exhale of, okay, there's an opportunity here. Here's a company that does this day in, day out, 7 days a week. So the machinations of it are clear. We go through the product, we go through the value proposition of the benefits of working with a company as strong as FoundSpace. We go through the resources that they'll receive, marketing support if they need it, the clearance they'll need, the type of building requirements that they'll need to consider. They learn quite quickly how strong our team is. They learn that they'll discover that their hand will be held through every process. And we'll go. I mean, effectively, they learn what this 5-step process is in that discovery.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a lot. We take off them a lot of the burden of, the things that need to happen to open the doors, have infrared sauna in there to provide to their clients, members, staff or guests.
Yep.
So by the end of the discovery, they've got a very good picture of what their return investment could look like. We've actually even built out a financial system for them to explore what the numbers and what their profit margins and what their revenue base would be over 12, 24 months.
Yep.
So the discovery goes through not just these financial benefits for the customer, but what the sauna is like. I mean, really importantly, it's also an opportunity to remind them that the health benefit of Paul Medic technology for their community is so beneficial. And what an amazing opportunity to drive a business, as I did, as you mentioned just before. It'll elevate your business as well as creating new revenue streams or making your guests and staff happier. So the discovery is it's all the things they need to understand. It's the physical things, it's the intrinsic value, but it's the trust that FoundSpace is the company to work for. We clearly have the strongest commercial viable product, not only in the most advanced infrared sauna on the market, but the best end-to-end. So when they, like I said, when they leave, they're like, okay, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this with FoundSpace. And that's kind of when I wake up every day and think about what I want my commercial customers to think is, I don't say on day one, you have to go with us, but I want them thinking, if we're going to do this as a project, James has given us X amount of things we've got to go away and consider. I've even got a needs analysis form for businesses to fill out and send back to me.
Yep.
That if we're going to do this, we're going to do this with FoundSpace, their team, right? Because they've thought of it.
So it's understanding, really getting that, them understanding how we work, but then also you understanding more about their business. So we work with different types of businesses. I suppose you've got to ask a number of questions about, who are your clients? Tell us about their demographic, how big is it, all of those things. Yeah.
What type of return do you want?
And what are typically, what sort of businesses are we working with? What sectors are they in?
Builders and architects, you guys are getting more and more prevalent in the space. More and more houses are getting specified with saunas, and we know what architects and we're constantly working with architects and designers and becoming more and more capable in understanding what you guys need.
Yep. So the A&D market, so to speak. Yep.
It's huge. Fitness centres clearly massive, always have been and always will, which is where where I come out of.
Yep. Allied Health. Yeah.
Heat stress, building it into any health business is going to elevate the client's well-being.
Yep.
Guest houses, like bookings.com now, sauna is listed as an amenity.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Right? That wasn't the case 4 years ago.
Literally trip for some mates and I this month actually down in the Peninsula to take 2 days off. And we looked for sauna.
Better put in that annual leave request.
We looked for sauna and we found
Yeah.
And as I said, yeah, corporate. I worked with an arborist a few weeks ago, right? Small arborist firm, so tree surgeons.
Yeah.
Come back from their day at work, 5 of them, there's an infrared sauna in there.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So there's a corporate opportunity as well. Yeah.
Are really poor.
Okay. So from all of that, all that discovery, like I think it's a both way thing. The next step, I suppose, is presenting them with some information, proposal or something. So how does that look?
Well, as we know, not all information can be retained all at once. And often it's quite exciting, particularly if customers get the ability to come into the boutique. It's a really exciting day, and they leave and they've got that feeling of, oh, this is what we want to do. We really need to follow up with with some really strong documentation.
Yep.
To follow it through. So we work with a digital proposal system.
Oh yes.
Really outlines every part of their discovery. So we state back what their goals and aspirations are. If there was a needs analysis done, we remind them of what these things are.
Mm-hmm.
It's really us showing the client that we were listening. Clearly, we show them the recommendations.
Yep.
It's not always, after one discovery that we know exactly the product we're going to invest in. It might be a range.
Yep.
Dimensions are in there, or the clearances are in there, power specifications.
Yep.
The quote, some video resources. It's a digital version of the discovery. The best thing about it is it's a centralized place to communicate with either myself or my team. There's a chat function in there where you can talk in real time about any of the content that we're providing.
Yeah, amazing.
And again, it just elevates the experience, guys, of you're working with a company that does this day in, day out and delivers you a professional, a really nurtured experience. And we can stay in that proposal for the whole, the whole time up into installation. Centralizes all the information so there's nothing that breaks down.
Yeah, great. So once somebody decides to work with us, which is very exciting. I suppose that's a big decision, and and people must go, okay, well, I've made this big decision to invest in whatever I'm going to invest in my business. Like, there's still that element of like, have I made the right decision? So for us, I think that's like really where the work starts, and in terms of like doing all that we can do to help them incorporate this Formedic tech into their business. So that's the third part of the process, which is, we call it the onboarding process. Yeah. Tell us about that.
Onboarding is critical because it starts to hand over the experience to the customer, right, or to the company. It's where they start to take some ownership over what's going on. Things start to get really real for them, right? Some fantastic online resources, webinar series, future booked calls if we need to, future booked visits. Effectively what we're doing is we're setting them up for success, right? We start to roll out any marketing resources that they ask for. All of our products have been into the studio. Videography's done a great job creating great content. If small business in particular need a hand understanding and talk about sauna benefits and talk about the advanced features that they've invested in, we can provide all that via links and through Dropbox resources and so forth, that they're more than happy to use. We're more than happy for them to use on websites and socials, etc. Understanding how the system works. Onboarding is all about the day that you go to trade or the day you go to provide it to your staff. You are the most capable person in the business around it, right? So how the FS1 control system works, the benefits of all the programs are already preset in there. If it's a business, particularly in the fitness and allied health sectors, staff training and team training around protocols that are right for the right demographic. Onboarding is all about setting up for success. How to prepare the sauna. We get all businesses to oil the benches and oil the floors differently, right? Really nourishing, linseed-based oil that makes it somewhat impervious to bacteria and mold. We show them how to towel the saunas down, which limits cleaning time and adds to the value of their own customer service. So that stuff's critical. And if we know we do a good job of that early, that when it comes time to them opening the doors, they can start getting a fast return on investment straight away. And the sauna's always looking and operating at its optimal best.
So from a timing perspective, they're getting access to this information as soon as they've made the decision to work with us. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
That's
it
great.
get through the discovery.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Download.
Yeah.
I mean, anyone can download our FoundSpace app today.
Yep.
In there are the masterclasses on the benefit of infrared, a walk around of the Nuar and the Nissa range. All these resources that make our businesses more capable, you can do today. Literally do that right now as soon as this webinar.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, as soon as you invest, these resources open up. You get an access to these files, watch these videos, maybe work more closely with myself and my team. If it's a larger team, we're about to roll out about 5 saunas at a new operation up in Canberra.
Yep.
With Viva Leisure. Shout out if you're on the episode today. I mean, that type of work, we have the team and we have the capability to do, the larger training via our webinar series or Zoom, and we can do as many as we like until we deem that everyone is capable.
Yeah.
And that's all included in cost.
Yeah. That's cool.
Sometimes tens, if not hundreds of of hours go into some of these projects, and it's all part of the process.
And what I know and believe is that if our clients, our commercial clients, embrace these resources and really embrace all this information that we're providing them, the ones that do just have such great success.
Yep.
Right. And it becomes a real little nice money spinner in the business. And I think more importantly, it's adding more value to their clients, their members, and elevating their wellness, as we know. So these resources, they're there to be used, guys. So make sure that you really embrace them, because it makes a massive difference.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. And I've been there for small business. It's the little things that matter. Cash flow really matters, in particular, and hitting the ground running is really important. So leaning in on the resources and being prepared. Leaning in on social media, website, maybe you send a newsletter, use our copy, use our photos, use our images, use our video, use our capability, use what we teach you, and start earning money straight away, or start adding more value back to your team straight away.
Great. So, great. They've started to embrace the resource, and then, their sauna or, cold plunge is going to arrive. And again, this is something that we do well. We have somebody that manages that process for them in terms of from our team, our delivery manager. So just a little bit more about that.
The biggest part of our business is the operational side.
We call it delivery and success, James.
Delivery and success.
Yeah.
We manufacture the most advanced infrared saunas probably in the world. That takes work.
We do.
That takes work. And that's where our delivery and success team take over. So specific businesses are taken care of by their delivery team. Right? They are skilled and trained up to manage challenges, the accounts, liaise with builders and architects and electricians. It's really about customers have the ease of knowing that we're not just delivering this thing, or you got to come and pick it up from a click and collect or so forth.
Yep.
You quite literally, my team hands you over to the delivery team that are skilled in understanding what an installation of sometimes multiple saunas will take.
Yep.
And sometimes there are hours of project management that needs to take place to make it happen. And we want it to feel like magic for the customer. Things just appear. Yes, but our clients will have an overview and an overarching sort of management control over the project. They're not running back and forward from Bunnings picking up wires and sending text messages where this. That's controlled by effectively our project manager. Okay?
It's a really good example of that just came to mind. Soma Health that we did in Sydney fairly recently. There's a video on the YouTube channel, guys, if you want to check that out. And Simon spends a fair bit of time actually talking about that process of us installing this, because it was a challenging job. And shout out to Lawrence, who's on our team, who's amazing. That was such a really good example of teamwork and getting that job happening. And Soma is, they love it. It looks amazing. Their members are getting, lots of use, lots of great value out of the products, and it's working really well for them. So that process is that whole delivery and installation process. So it's critical. Like it's critical to making sure, and we do everything in our power to work with our clients to make it as seamless as possible. It's always a two-way street. There's got to be communication both ways. Absolutely. And if there is, most of the time it goes really well. We even did a job in Kalgoorlie.
Yes, I sent
last month. Yeah, for Nuas in Kalgoorlie. Anyway, all right. So clients have got this. They've got their sauna. It's going well. Things are ticking over. They've really embraced the resources. We've delivered. We've installed. Sometimes things, nothing's perfect, right? Sometimes something might not work, or there might just be a question. So that's where the follow-up service comes in, right? Is making sure that we've got, we're able to support them from a servicing perspective, whether it be, whether it be in person or whether it be live. So unpack that a little bit more for us.
So during the onboarding, businesses are provided with all the human resources they need to support myself and my team for all things capability. So questions that pop up, reminders of which resource to go to improve their training, etc. They are given a resource that during that time they're currently talking to, which is their delivery manager, a reminder of who is their logistical coordinator through this whole project. So who to go back to around, an account or anything to do with the end-to-end process after sale.
Yep.
And more importantly, they're introduced to our, full-time service and warranty team. Right? It sits under the Success banner.
Yep.
And such an awesome team of people that are, constantly helping businesses keep and understand how to keep their products at optimum, working potential. These saunas are going to be on all week, generating revenue. They need to be looked after, and our team's there to do it. If there's any faults that are, deemed that we can help with, we diagnose really quickly. We warehouse parts up and down the east coast of Australia. Remember that, we are the manufacturer of
yeah, exactly.
Right. So the FS1 control system, the app that we built, this is our app. It has its own team that services the app. The digital touchscreen is our digital touchscreen. We didn't buy anything off a shelf. So the quality, like the security in that for a small business is huge. That they're buying parts off the company that provides the parts. I think we've got over 20 or 30 service installation team in Australia now.
There is, yes.
So who you deal with works for Foundspace and are very passionate about it. Right? So you can be assured, if you're a business and you need to activate your warranty, or there's been potential electrical fault or something, these things happen in business. I remember quite clearly. What I remember is not being frustrated by the fact that it's happened, but I've been frustrated in how long the sauna was down. In Foundspace, we are a critical part of our aftermarket care is understanding that businesses cannot have these saunas down for long, right? But everything we do is to attest to get them up going ASAP. And we can only do that because there are parts warehoused in our warehouses by our team and by our warranty managers.
Yep.
So in Australia, New Zealand, clearly the best end-to-end service that you can get.
I think it's, that's part of what I oversee in the business. And it's critical for us, for our commercial clients, to get them back up and running. It is, it's a two-way street. Like, follow the onboarding, follow the processes and everything, and look after the product, and the product will look after you. But then if something, if there is a fault, we're there to sort it out for you. Yeah, nice. So typically, James, someone would look at getting, I suppose, a good 5 to 10 years potentially, depending on volume of use out of the product. And I would imagine you potentially kind of depreciate it over a period of time, and then you might renew it after a period of time. Is that what you're finding?
Oh, absolutely. We've got some real time examples of that already. When has been set almost 6 years. So I'm starting to see that evolution
Yeah.
a few times.
Yep.
And particularly with the new models in Nisa and Nura around now, and the businesses that have done the due diligence of ensuring a really strong return on investment are now starting to upgrade. I mean, I can think of, our good friend just up the road from here, Body Crew. Shout out to Haley if you're on today, probably taking a Pilates class. Fantastic teacher, fantastic facilitator, fantastic little business. Wanted to do some cross servicing, so thought about infrared sauna, came into Found Space, had the discovery, understood the importance of a strong onboarding and using our resources, invested under $5,000 to completely set up a sauna business.
Yep.
And I know from our case study that you saw a return on investment within that first 2 months and hit a profit center straight away.
Yep.
And now in less than 12 months is investing in a product which is, just shy of $11,000, twice the capability of what she had in full net profit. And that's just one example of, as you said before, when you use the process, how really the financial system that I built out can show a business that regardless of what you invest, if you follow the 5-step process, then the stats show that you should clearly get a return on investment in a lot of cases in less than 12 months.
It's pretty cool.
Before you hit a profit center.
Yep.
Right? That's appreciation beating depreciation, which in small business is absolutely critical. Because then if it then means it's time you want to upgrade because the new models have been released, or if you've had a sauna for 10, 15 years and you weren't part of our model, you can join the model and know that quite quickly you can start to upgrade. But it's also that peace of mind, right? That you are, your capital investment has been cleared. You're now in a profit, and and that's a good capital investment decision.
Yep.
In small business, that is absolutely critical.
Absolutely. Yeah. Love it. So I'm just going to kind of recap on those things. So, look, it's important that we understand you, we understand your business, we understand your team. So that's the discovery process. From that, we then build out a proposal based on the discussion that we've had, what it's going to look like. You then made the decision whether or not to go with us. If you go with us, it's then that the onboarding starts immediately. You get appointed a delivery manager. Delivery manager looks after that delivery and installation process, and you've obviously got the after sales support there. And
Happy days.
Love it.
And then keep in touch.
Yeah.
We love reading our reviews. We love keeping relationships. It's getting harder and harder every year as hundreds and hundreds of businesses join the community. But we try and keep in touch as much as we can. You'll see guys on I might even post some today, but on our YouTube channel, more and more fantastic testimonials from commercial businesses across different sectors and the experience they had. So, keeping in touch with our community is something that I really like to do.
Yeah, amazing. James, thanks for the time today. It's great.
Great to have you here once again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks.
Cheers. Well done.
Thanks,
team.
We'll see you next time.